Shalom. Like to give all honor and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai. Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Salutations to you sincere brothers pushing his word out across the four corners of the earth. And a lesson I want to get into is about as a tree planted by the waters. And this is Jeremiah, the 14th chapter and the second verse. Judah mourning, and the gates thereof languish. Judah is representing you so-called Negroes. You mourning, basically meaning you're crying for answers. You basically in a declining state, and the gates thereof languish, meaning you so-called black leaders, you're deteriorating. You're declining also. You're not telling the people who they really are. You have a high status in Esau's kingdom. You have that high platform, and you're not telling our people that they are the children of Israel. You know, you're not telling them who the so-called white man is, which is Esau, according to the scriptures. You're not telling them about the prophecies of the Bible, like the RFID chip. It's the mark of the beast. Nuclear missiles is going to come hit America. So the gates thereof are languishing. All these so-called black leaders that's in the high status in Esau's kingdom, they are black unto the ground. You know that word black is Qadar, which means dark skin. And the cry of Jerusalem is going up. Verse 3. And their nobles have sent their little ones to the waters. And it's also representing these guys that know that they are Israelites. You have Nate, Yohana, Zabak, and the list goes on. So they in that status also. They know that they are Israelites, but they still breaking down the scriptures wrong to their followers. And you leading them astray. And their nobles had sent their little ones to the waters. They came to the pits and found no water. And that links me up with Jeremiah's 2nd chapter and the 13th verse. For my people have committed two evils. They have forsaken me, the fountain of living waters, and hewn them out of cisterns, broken cisterns that can hold no water. So by our people going in these churches or adhering to these different philosophies, or even they know that they are Israelites, but they have the wrong breakdowns of these scriptures, they can't hold no water. They can't hold no truth. That means they spiritually thirsty. And they spiritually crying out and they looking for the truth. And that's really teaching this word in truth and sincerity on the doctrine that Yahweh Shai he put on the being a great millstone, starting with the apostles and the elders and the sincere brothers on down. So that's really the fountains of living water. That's the true doctrine right there, And to further prove that, let's get John the 4th chapter and the 14th verse. And this is Yahweh Shai talking to the Samaritan woman. But whosoever drinketh of the water that I should give him should never thirst. But the water that I should give him should be in him a well of water springing up into everlasting life. So if you have the word of Yahweh Shai and you teaching it in truth and sincerity, you're going to spiritually grow in this. You're basically going to be that tree planted by the rivers of water. get that. All right. And it says, and their nobles had sent their little ones to the waters. They came to the pits and found no water, meaning they spiritually thirsty. They spiritually dehydrated. Those are dry bones. They returned with their vessels empty. They were ashamed and confounded and covered their heads. And that links up with Daniel the 12th chapter. I said some to shame and some to everlasting contempt. So the ones that are people that had that platform to tell our people who they really are, they missed their chance. So in the kingdom, they're gonna be ashamed. Like, man, I had a chance to tell our people who they really are, tell our people to wake up, whether they hear or forbear. You still did your part, you know. That's what you're supposed to have done on this side. And it says, and covered their heads. So you was ashamed. You was confounded. So let's get Jeremiah the 17th chapter and the 7th verse. Blessed is the man that trusts in the Lord, and whose hope the Lord is. Verse 8. For he should be as a tree planted by the waters, and that spreadeth out her roots by the river, and should not see when heat cometh, but her leaf shall be green, and should not be careful in the year of drought, neither shall cease from yielding fruit. So that tree planted by the waters is synonymous to an elect brother. Throughout all his trials and tribulations, his distresses, his afflictions, all the hell he went through, he stayed well grounded and well rooted in his faith. You know, so in other words, he stayed established in the faith of Yahweh and Yahweh Shai. And that reminds me of when you know it's like a big type of storm or a tornado happen. There always be those big trees that get uprooted.
Wow. Oh my god, if that tree falls over, there's trouble. About that. I'm worried about that tree. There it goes. That's bad. Yeah, look at that.
And you always see that little tree still standing, still able to survive, survive that storm and see another day. And that's for the guys that's in Israel that wants to get that name. They want to get that fame. You know, Yahweh Shah said he's gonna give us that fame, Lord willing. So it's not about you trying to go out there and get that name or that fame for yourselves. It's basically about laying low, just continue to do the work. Yahweh Shah, he's going to spring forth. And he's going to basically give you fruit. You're going to basically be built up in the faith of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. It's not about us doing these things on our own selves. It's about doing the work in truth and sincerity, being good brothers, and just basically being patient, hastening for Yahweh and Yahweh Shai. All right, so let's get Psalms, the first chapter and the first verse. Blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor standeth in the way of sinners, nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful. So blessed is the man that's not walking the way of the 2/3. You know, they not walking the way of the world. And how the scripture saying in the book of Exodus, the 20th chapter, or the 23rd chapter, if I'm not mistaken, how it says, follow now multitude to do evil. You know, verse 2. But his delight is in the law of the Lord, and his law do he meditate day and night. Seek ye out the book of the Lord and read. Verse 3. And he should be like a tree planted by the rivers of water, that bringeth forth his fruit in his season. That links up with Ecclesiasticus, the 20th chapter, how it says, he that tilleth his land should increase his heat. So the more you do the work in this truth, the more You grinding this, you spiritually growing up your bank account. You spiritually growing in this truth. So a part investing in this truth is sacrificing. So you gonna reap what you sow in this truth, whether it's on the bad side or it's on the good side. And he says, and he should be like a tree planted by rivers of water that bringeth forth his fruit in his season. His leaf also should not wither, and whatsoever he do it shall prosper. So you're gonna spiritually grow in this truth, man. And I hope you all were edified. Like, give all honor and glory to Yahweh and Yahweh Shai. Double honors again to our apostles and elders of great millstone who rule well. Salutations to your sincere brothers. Shalom.